for those who are able to. And the ability, of course, it's a Hajj is a Salah is a physical type of worship, right? It's summa ibadah badaniyah, that you do it with you really don't need to spend any money on it. You just can do it anywhere. Zakat is a financial type of worship, act of worship. Hajj is both, is physical and financial. So really a lot of stars and moons have to align for you to be able to go to Hajj nowadays, subhanAllah. It's becoming easier, but it's becoming a little bit more expensive. What's easier in terms of, like think of it 200 years ago, it takes maybe 2 months to get there. Now, within half a day, you're there. So, but it is an obligation. I would like to, this is the season of Hajj, and now, so I think it's only appropriate to talk about it and remind people, and inshallah, that we'll have some of the brothers who will perform the Hajj this year. عن ابن عباس قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من أراد الحج فليستعجل أو فليتعجل عفوا, that he who wants to or has built up the intention to perform Hajj, of course, given that they have the means, and we'll talk about the means, then let them do it quickly. Let them get on with it and not waste time. If you have it this year, do it. فإن المريض يمرض وإن الضالة تضل وقد تعرض الحاجة, that you might get sick. إن المريض وقد يمرض المريض عفوا, this is how the text, وقد يمرض المريض, that you might get sick, you don't know. Now you have the ability, and here he's talking about physical ability, because if someone's sick or like bedridden, of course this obligation is not on them anymore, but of course they have to pay for someone to do it on their behalf if they have the means. وقد تضل الضالة, and that's here he's talking about back in the days when you had a horse or a camel that you can ride and go. Nowadays we can interpret that as the means, that now you have the ability, maybe tomorrow you won't. وقد تعرض الحاجة, now today you have the time, you can take a couple of weeks of vacation and go do a quick Hajj, but maybe in the future you might not be able to. So the Prophet ﷺ is trying to tell you in a very, very short words that whenever you build the intention and you have the means, get it done. Because all you have to do is once in your lifetime, and now you have performed one of the pillars of Islam. So I hope this was a benefit to encourage people actually to think about it. Because sometimes you might think, okay, I'll do it next year. We don't know if we're going to be around next year. You don't know if you'll have the money next year. You don't know if you'll be able next year. You don't know. And I always remind, for those who have been there, they know. I always remind that try to do it when you're able and young. Hajj is not for when you're 80 and you can barely move and now it's time for you to do Hajj. No, Hajj is when you're 20, 25, and 30. That's the time actually. The minute you're mukallaf, you're a person who are obligated to perform the pillars of the salat and zakat, that's the time for you, because it's physical. On one day I had to walk 23 kilometers, and I tracked that a couple of years ago when we went. Alhamdulillah, I tracked it. It's very physical. It's very, very physical. You do it when you're young, you'll reconsider your fitness. So I hope this was of benefit. يروي الإمام ابن ماجه في سننه بسند حسن عن ابن عباس رضي الله تعالى عنه وارضاه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من أراد الحج فليتعجل فإن المريض فقد يمرض المريض وقد تضل الضالة وقد تعرض الحاجة. وصدق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك لا